The Corkscrew.
The yellow is out. Okay, leaders coming on by here soon.
A corner so stupid it dwarfs the height of a house. Blind entry, off-camber, downhill, built by Satis. So naturally, we brought out for 4C. A bare-knuckle ballerina with the chassis of a Ferrari and the interior of a microwave. I know. But this is Laguna Seca, where racing heroes are made and traction goes to die. Some bring lawn chairs. We've brought a 2,400-pound Italian tantrum with no power steering and no driver aid.
To really enjoy this car, you're going to drive well in excess of what is reasonable on the roads. And so tracking it, it allows me to enjoy the car and enjoy the fruits of what I've done in a legal and in a much lower risk way. And I find a lot of joy in changing things to make them better as much as changing myself. Time Attack gave me the idea of still competing a little bit. I haven't done enough of it because of business and things and always tinkering with the car. But I want to do more of it. Laguna, definitely being 140 is a good intermediate goal, but there's a lot more in it than that.
And what do you know, he was right. And it didn't take me long to agree with him. In fact, before even heading out to the track, we found our first problem.
Ancient 7/8, 2,000 capacity, 200 tons.
No, actually, the trailer setup was pretty smooth. With the help of a friend. Thanks, Mark. And obviously, the Alfa wasn't going to exceed any sort of weight capacity. But if there was one thing more terrifying than Laguna that we didn't account for, it would be the trailer ramps. So we figured it would be easier to just drive the Alfa. After a few minor adjustments, and by minor I mean wing tweaks performed with garage-level precision, we took a page from Colin Chapman's book. Because when you don't have a trailer with a lift, sometimes the simplest solution is to just trust your splitter, tighten your bolts, and drive 200 miles in a track car on street tires. But we made it, and without coffee too, which was the most impressive part. Now before we continue, let's do a basic rundown. First, we'll find a place to park it, ideally somewhere with shade and dignity. Then it's a quick sign-in, probably a desperate grab for coffee, and that way we can quickly get back to the car and start emptying it out. We'll have enough time to slap the tires and make sure the car looks a little less like it flies water. At Laguna Seca today, it's about 58 degrees out. Surface temp is about 65 degrees, and we're running Bridgestone 71 RSs. Track of 11 corners, and one personality disorder. Let's see where it gets us.
So when you change the ECUs, I cycle the key 3 times and hold it for 10 seconds each time in order for the ECU to learn the pedal positions. And then I start it, and as long as no error codes and everything, it's pretty good. It's kind of a safety procedure to go through, and it's served me well.
Too much traffic. Yeah, I didn't have a ton, but I barely broke 150. I mean, it was really bad. 151, which would have been 141, but then I ran into traffic, and next thing you know, I was right back up to 150 something. So I'm going to get out this next session earlier and not be scrambling. But I need to learn some lines. Definitely, lines were off. I haven't been at this track for a while, so my best lap was 149, which is just not good.
He said he's got a long way to go.
He got a long way to go.
We gave him space, let the session settle, and I began mourning my legs after chasing an Alfa Romeo across 11 turns and 300 acres of baked California hillside. Nature watched. Judged, probably. And while I stood there pretending to be thoughtful, sessions 2 and 3 flew past. In my moment of stillness, he was going 100 miles an hour. By the time I hobbled back, sweaty, winded, I half expected he'd made 3 new friends, lost 2 tools, and been unanimously voted leader of Scooter GP. Yeah, we better check back in. Anything that you're planning to do this time around, Dad?
Just work on my entry points. Start looking at the corners earlier. I find myself looking a mile too late, and then you're relying on your peripheral vision at that point in time. If you look early, you're looking head on into the apex. As it turns out, like I went through one. And I was just a little bit one lap, and I was a little too far right, and so I caught it, and I bottomed out because the compression's so high coming through there. So you kind of need to be, for me, I need to be over to the left and pointed towards the apex. So I come through, I get myself pointed to the left, cresting the hill, and then just roll it down is the best way for me to go through.
Does the Alfa trust you yet?
Oh, the Alfa's performing great. It's me that sucks. The Alfa's stuck. I mean, it's got so much more left in it, but I'm barely pushing. I didn't even get the tires up to 10. They pressures usually, when I start out at 26, 29, they get up around 35 in the rear and 35, 36 in the rear, and then I got to bring them down from there. And they get around 32, 33, and then in the front they get up around 31, 32, and okay, that's pretty good. Maybe I bring them down a pound, but this time I didn't even get them to 30 in the front. They were 29 and a half, so I got a lot of pushing left to do. Some of that was just traffic, and I couldn't get a clean lap, but some of it was me. Let's see if I can't get a better rhythm. I couldn't get a good rhythm. If you can't get a good rhythm, you can't get lap time. You can't build confidence. You can't build confidence, which then leads to lap time, I should say.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the plan, and lots of time left. Car's great. Now I just need to step up and find the car.
as I've got this, I do need to go ahead and get a better one than this. I want to have one that hooks into the OBD2, which is onboard diagnostic systems 2 that all modern cars have. And then it's gathering your braking, like literally like 0 to 100% braking, 0 to 100% throttle. So
that's
you can
cool.
see, like sometimes you think you're 100% throttle and you're not. You're accelerating, you go, okay, I'm really accelerating fast. And you realize, oh crap, there's more.
You had a toe's worth.
It's just, you know, the car is making all the cool sounds, but I can tell you, there's been hunts of time, or you can see where you're lifting, like at Laguna, you know, going over turn 1. Turn 1 is hardly a turn. It feels like a straightaway. But the big thing about turn 1 is that there's a big hill with a crest. Well, you're going 115, 120 miles an hour, going over a crest, the car gets really, really light, and it's scary. So your tendency is to go lift. So you're going up the hill there, and your tendency is to let off the gas as you crest the hill. Well, if you let off the gas as you crest the hill, you're going uphill, so you're slowing way down. Then you're going back down, and then you got to accelerate back down the hill, but then you're braking going into turn 2. So you've lost 4 miles an hour. So what could be 120 is now, you know, 116 or 115. And, you know, you see your peak speed is dramatically changed, and you've lost time. That could be a half a second to a second. 1 second, just because I went, oh, at the wrong time. You know, it's an incredibly precise sport. You know, you think of it like a bunch of guys going out there. It's not that way. In fact, when you're doing this, that means bad things have happened. Something didn't work. You lost it. Now it's going to happen because to find the limit, sometimes you got to go past it. But the fastest laps are the ones that look the slowest from inside the car, because your wheel's turning and then it's smooth back, and you've got smooth exchanges, and it looks like you're driving Miss Daisy. You're just kind of just gently flowing around, and then all of a sudden you look and you go, oh my God, wow, you know, that was fast, because every exchange was smooth. The car was under control. It wasn't diving and then out of control when it's trying to switch back. It's smooth, you know, you do a little, and then let the car correct and then go into the corner instead of, and then try to turn into the corner and your back end's all light and it's swapping ends. So I'm really, you know, looking forward to just concentrating on my driving. And I love modding cars. I love working on the cars. I love the accomplishment of that. I had that motor and transmission completely apart, everything, just to change a piece and make the car faster. But I lost 10 months of driving to do all that because of work commitments and parts and honestly just not being as confident as I would like doing it. So I just took my time. But 10 months off track was huge. It set me back quite a bit. So now I'm coming back on track after a 10-month absence, and it's like I got to relearn a lot of stuff again that I already knew. So I've got that, and then I've got to learn the car, which is totally different. Better, it's way better. It was definitely worth the investment in time, but even better takes adjustments. If you're going faster into a corner, your braking points have changed. And you know, if you're able to go around a corner faster, you have to be able to have the cojones to be able to do that and trust that it's going to stick. So it's going to be fun. We'll see if we can hit these goals. I'm looking forward to it. I'm enjoying it, definitely. Just gotta keep it up and keep the ego in check and not do anything stupid and not water. She's too beautiful to wad up.